Hello everyone, this is Blue Valkyrie once again with the 31-day tarot challenge. This is day, 12, yes. And today I'm going to be showing you one of those very artistic tarot decks that might not be for everyone, but I can appreciate how the artist came to be about making it happen. It's called the Krauss Magic Tarot by Londa Marks. Now, she is not just the one who wrote the book, she also was the artist. In the box, as always, come the 78 cards, usually 2 cards that are usually meaningless, but this one tells you that it was created by Londa Marks, the publishers. This is the back side, as you can see in all the cards. It's the back side, and on this one there's actually a poem. Let me see if I can read it. I'm trying to get it as close as possible. The Krauss Magic Tarot is a place of dreaming and of visions, of finding answers and directions. Travel to another world and time while discovering treasures and unearthing omens. See what you have always wanted to see. Meet creatures who are sages, diviners, shamans, and enchanters. And most of all, experience the Krauss magic. So, and of course, it comes with a tiny little booklet. Only in English. This one doesn't have more than one language. And it comes with a guide to the Celtic cross spread. Before I get into the book, because the book gives a lot of account into the thought process of the deck, supposedly, I have not been able to confirm this. This is the first edition that I have, and supposedly the book itself is hard to come by. I don't know how true that is. That's what one person told me once. Anyway, are we ready to do what I always do? Are you ready to see the art? Or some of it? Ah! Yeah. Okay, so this is what I mean. That's a very alternative, very filled with artistic imagery deck. It's very graphical. Not graphical in the sense that it's graphic material, but graphic in the sense of graphic art. For instance, here's the Fool. The Magician is one of the cards that we have examined in all of the videos that I've made. The High Priestess. See, this is what I was telling you about the things in common, or the not so much the things in common, but the things that they might have, in common. I have elements that might be shared along the different tarot decks. This is just, it's not a requirement. It's something that some people do, some people don't. For example, it gives you here, this is the Magician, also known as Sorcerers and Alchemist. It gives you, this is the sign for Pisces, I think it is, or I'm not sure, I forgot my signs, sue me. Or Aquarius, might be Aquarius, I'm not sure. And yes, like this one, I have no clue. I really have to revise my imagery, but see, here are the 2 pillars, and This bird is looking very beautiful, and this is the High Priestess, which happens to be a necromancer and seer. And I actually agree with this, with these words here, necromancer and seer, because to be a necromancer you also should be a seer. If not, now the Empress, you see her right here resting. The owl, which is the Emperor. This is a Nordic symbol, and so is this one. It's not really a Vegvisir. I know it's a helm. It's not the traditional helm of all, but it's one of them, and it has 4 algae runes. So that's a basic one. And Sage Mentor, well, it goes with that symbol. Not everybody knows about that symbol or this one. Let's see. The Lovers is very interesting how it looks. It has the snake there. There's the 2 people. 1 female, 1 male. It's the usual representation, but I'm sure there's gotta be a LGBTQ tarot deck out there. And if it isn't, hint hint, you can make one. So, as you can see, this is the Chariot, and it doesn't look chariot-y at all. Justice, I like this. This is very goddess-like. The Hermit, Wheel of Fortune, Strength, and if this looks actually, instead of a male lion, it actually looks like a lioness without the breasts, or a tigress. I don't know. Anyway, it's very pretty, of course. This is the Hanged Man. Yes, that is a cross. Don't judge. St. Peter was in a cross, upside down cross. That's why whoever says this cross is a satanic cross doesn't know what they're saying, because this is St. Peter's cross. He said that he wasn't worthy of being crucified the same way that his master was. So, well, master not in the sense that, but you know what I mean. That he wasn't worthy to be put to death in the same manner than his Christ was. Death, I like how it has the snake, but it also has calls to mutate and regenerate, which is basically what this card has always meant. It's not a literal death. And as you can see, the rest of the cards, like I've said, they're very, very graphical. They're very graphic arts. And I organized them, the suits. I put them in the order that the author and creator gives. But basically, this is just letting you know. I'm just showing you, give or take, how everything looks so, beautiful. And like, for instance, like I was saying, you see, here it is. Here's the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords, yes, you do have 10 swords. And here you have the 9 swords, but you also have, even if it's a slight difference, but you do have a different art for the amount of swords that this is, marking, unmarking, however you want to say it. But yes, it's very beautiful. Ace of Wands, and female berserker. Just showing you here. It has a lot of symbolism. Now, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about the creator. She's always been sort of into the designing side of art, and I don't mean just graphic designing, but you'll see. So basically, yes, this is it. This is basically the images, the cards themselves. Okay, now I'm going to show you. There's only one thing I don't like about this book, and it's that it has those pesky reversed meanings. It doesn't give you anything other than it was her inspiration, and only for that matter I actually respect it, because she was inspired to do so, to write it as such. This is a book, is a companion guide to the Crow's Magic Tarot. The author, Londa Marks, introduces readers to the related sun signs, basic meanings, astrological data, elemental and number correlation, and poetry of the Crow's magical kingdom. This mesmerizing book, full of sages, diviners, shamans, and unusual wildlife, will engage you to utilize your dreams and visions as it guides for finding more answers to your most important questions and perhaps a new direction in your life. This is the first page, Crow's Magic, the publishing house. The Crow's Magic Tarot book and deck is dedicated to the precious animal kingdom, especially the crow. And I like that dedication because I don't know if you guys know, I simply just adore animals. It gives you an introduction of how her deck has been influenced by her in the music business, in how she was a professional costume designer. She was also a set designer, a makeup artist. She also was a photographer, and basically she's just telling you her transition, how she got into the occult, how she got into being this journey, how she found Edgar Allan Poe, and so forth. And after meeting with a rock guitarist named Doug Marks, I decided my next lessons would be learned in the rock and roll business. Through this relationship, I could not only be part of what created appealing sounds, but also I could incorporate my artistic talents. From 72 to 78, I traveled and worked with the band, circuits with Doug, and throughout the East Coast. He employed me to create the wardrobe for the band, do their stage makeup, and so forth. And basically it's telling you how it all developed. And Doc Marks is her ex-husband. The message behind it, how she loves all animals, how during her creative process she was just completing one card, and how she got to get more inspiration and everything, and why it was necessary to call it this way, the magic journey. I don't know if out of one of these pages, I forgot which one, but she also said something about researching and things like this for this deck. She actually was into David Bowie, how she listened to The Crow. The movie The Crow? Why do words escape me so? Soundtrack to the movie. and other things like that that inspired her, and basically how this heavy metal and not so heavy music here it says heavy music is a layer you float upon, and actually I agree with that. So he gives you a sort of at a glance divinatory meanings related sun signs to the major arcana or arcana. I would say arcana. The minor arcana, for example, for the suit of swords. See, it gives you the card. It gives you the words, kind of like keywords, and which sign is actually correlated to it. And it does the same, and then gives you more astrological data, correlations. I like that she gets right into it, that the only introduction that she gives you, or the number significance, this is kind of like numerology of sorts. So she dives right into it without giving you all of that craziness of the history of the tarot and all of that jazz. No, she just gives you the introduction to the card, what the card is, as she sees it, the divination, which it might be similar to the regular ones, but it's because she studied the occult sciences as well. It's not like the fool in this deck is going to mean what the hermit means to the regular, more conventional decks. And this is what I say. You see, she has the reverse, but meaning, but it's not because, it's a mandatory thing. She just felt like she had to. Put it. And let me see if I can go and as far as I can go. You have to excuse me because this is one of the books that actually survived. Remember what I told you, that there was some sort of flood where I used to live. Okay, here's let me see the previous page, because I think, okay, yeah, no, this is for the King of Coins. This is a poem, another poem she made. Then I think the next one is an Edgar Allan Poe's. Yeah, this is one from Edgar Allan Poe. And let's see. Or no, actually, rather, no, I am sorry, I apologize. Scratch that. This is a poem she wrote for Edgar Allan Poe. Now, this is the disclaimer, a very important one, because not everybody does what she did. She not only designed the cards, she also wrote the meaning. She actually went through the journey, a sort of shamanic journey, and that's where she got all the inspiration and everything that she used to create the cards. See, it says here, I am the illustrator and author of the Londa Tarot cards, published and distributed worldwide by US Game Systems Inc. in Stamford, Connecticut. That was my first deck of tarot cards, each of the 78 cards, the extra card, who are you really, and the box cover image were all oil painted. I am proud to say that Stuart Kaplan, CEO of US Games Systems Inc., now owns all the paintings from that deck. So that is very, very important. To her fans, she's got on her website, she displays some cards from both that deck and the Crow's Magic Tarot deck, which I think they're one of the same, but it would be good to go and look at it. Also, many of my unpolished original paintings are displayed in my gallery section. Please stop and visit. You can email me, and that's her website, her email, her website. She answers all mail professionally, and thank you from my heart, etc. Here come the acknowledgements. I'm sorry. The people she's thanking. And see, this is what I was telling you about of the influences. The music, art, places, and things that influence the art in this tarot deck include Stabbing Westward, the original motion picture score for The Crow, and the soundtrack for The Crow with bands like The Cure, Nine Inch Nails, Stone Temple Pilots, The Rolling Bands, Bandera, Helmet, Rage Against the Machine, The Jesus and Mary Chain, Medicine, The Thrill, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Machines of Love and Grace, Violent Femmes. I love Violent Femmes, by the way. Other major influences: Brandon Lee in The Crow, Jimi Hendrix, of course, Janis Joplin, Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, David Bowie, of course, because one without the other is like, they don't exist, Glenn Hughes, of course, Deep Purple, Tommy Bolin, Richie Blackmore, Trent Reznor. If you like Trent, you have to like Nine Inch Nails, of course. Marilyn Manson, Bach, Bieber, is that it? I hope not. Pipe organs, harpsichords, guitars, goth, Motley Crue, Hog, Metallica, Stabbing Westward, Black Sabbath, haha, Deep Purple, Alice in Chains, yuck. Actually, no. Alice in Chains, I respect. Is one that she's not mentioning here, that shall remain nameless, that I detest. Edgar Allan Poe, Shakespeare, Botticelli, Vincent van Gogh, Michelangelo, Maxfield Parrish, Egyptians, medieval period, Native American Indians, Marietta, Ohio, Hollywood, Scottsdale, the Arizona desert, San Francisco and the fog, Italy, Ireland, England, castles, crows, and all the precious animal spirits. And that is it. Gives you a couple of spaces for notes. And this is it. So I am sorry that as of late my videos are getting longer than 15 minutes. And I know that's a lot of compromises from most of you. Some people can watch 5 minutes of something, let alone 10 or 15. But thank you for being here with me. I have seen not exactly the same thing that I'm doing, but I've seen some videos from the pagan community on YouTube that they're showing their oracles, and that is something that warms my heart, because it's like, I'm not saying anybody copied anyone, but when I see them, I know I'm not the only one that has a passion for something like this. So with that said, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope the next one I can make smaller in length, I would say. And thank you for watching again. This is Blue Valkyrie saying bye-bye.